Right now on KGW News at noon, emergency landing declared at PDX this morning as an Alaska airline with a blown tire made its way to Portland. We have the latest on that. Plus, a Southeast Portland school remembering a sixth grader who died in a shooting. How you can support the family. And the Oregon special election is tomorrow, where you can find help to make sure your vote counts. Your News at Noon starts right now. Thank you for joining us. I'm China Green. We start this afternoon with an emergency landing at PDX this morning involving a flight with a blown tire. So we captured that flight taxiing after a safe landing. Alaska Airlines told us the plane suffered tire failure when it departed from Chicago, but crews determined that it was safe to continue the flight to PDX. As a precautionary measure, pilots declared an emergency landing. And we talked with a couple who were parked in the cell phone waiting area. They saw the plane land and the emergency response.
Once the airplane came down and landed, and it was the only one landing on that runway, we saw two more fire trucks with their lights on coming from the other side, following the airplane. We just watched it. Nothing was on fire, no smoke, nothing. We didn't know what was happening to it.
The airline says technicians are evaluating the aircraft. And in national news, taking a look at the White House, where President Donald Trump is signing a legislation that is dubbed the Take It Down Act. It bans the non-consensual online publication of sexually explicit images and videos. That includes authentic content and computer generated. The violators will face prison, a fine, or both. And those who make threats to publish these intimate visuals will also face criminal consequences. The bill passed unanimously in the Senate and overwhelmingly in the House. In other national headlines, the Supreme Court today allowed the Trump administration to revoke legal protections from 350,000 Venezuelans, which potentially exposes them to deportation. The High Court granted an emergency application filed by the administration, allowing officials to reverse the decision of the Biden administration to extend protections for those Venezuelans. Now, litigation will now continue in lower courts. Head over to Road Hill for a look at weather now.
Hey, we have something we did not have this morning. There it is. That's the something. We have a little blue out there right now. We still have a scattered shower chance. It'll actually be with us not only this afternoon, but through the day tomorrow. But if you have plans to be out and about this afternoon, I think showers would quickly come and quickly go, and hopefully not mess with you too much, as we'll open up some nice dry time. We are warming. We're at 62, warmer than I thought we'd be at noon. So pretty pleasant outside. Here's the radar. We certainly have showers out around Baker City, Pendleton, and then here on the west side, most notably up over the Cascades. But there are some showers as well here in the valley. There's a little bit of rain right now. Mostly light moving through Lake Oswego, Happy Valley, just outside of the Clackamas area. There's the view from the Chehalem tasting room down in Sherwood, mainly cloudy from that vantage point and cooler than Portland at 56. So I think we'll be in the low to mid 60s for the remainder of this afternoon, a mix of sun breaks and again some scattered showers. But moving forward today, China, far more dry weather than wet. Your complete forecast coming up.
Thank you, Rod. You may see this sign on your commute. Westland police are looking for 81-year-old Judith Roberts. They say that she was last seen on Friday sitting in her white Volkswagen Jetta with license plate 501 JYP on Wildwood Drive in Westland. She's 5'6" tall with short gray hair and glasses. Police say that she has cognitive issues and may be endangered and does not have her cell phone with her. So if you see her, call 911 or the non-emergency line. That number is 503-635-0238. A Southeast Portland school is raising money for the family of Ilios Rentaria, a sixth grader who died on Friday in what appears to be an accidental shooting. Osford Middle School says it has been in contact with the family who allowed the school to share this information. In a statement, Principal Jill Little said, quote, "We will all remember Ilios as a sweet, fun-loving, and wonderful kid who brightened the lives of everyone who knew him." Trauma intervention workers were available at the school today for staff and students. Tomorrow is Oregon's special election, and there is still time, a little bit of time, to drop off your mail-in ballot. Celine Stevens spoke with a couple of counties over the weekend about what you need to know ahead of the big day.
Yes, I wanted to get my ballot in before the deadline. this happened to be very convenient for us.
Tuesday, May 20th, is the special election for people to vote on hot topics like school, fire, and water district races.
Everything counts. Yep, we pour through the information they send out ahead of time and decide who we're going to vote for.
Although the election is in just a few days, voter turnout is low in a couple counties, which is typical for special elections.
Special district elections can be anywhere between 16% turnout up to 40% turnout. The exact percentage that we are at right now is 12.1%.
As of end of day yesterday, Clackamas County is at 11.4%, so we have just over 35,000 voters who have turned in their ballot.
Voters having the option to stop by a ballot box or by a voting location in person.
We have 32 ballot boxes throughout the county, plus we have this office and the Voting Center Express where people can drop their ballots.
That Voting Center Express, located in Gresham, where we found Diane Herson, who turned in her ballot with her husband, saying vote by mail makes voting easy.
We live just down the street, an easy walk, and I saw it was going to be open today from 10 to 2. We'll get it in a couple days early. In Virginia, there are times we had to stand in line to get early voting, but you still had to stand in a long line.
Of course, voters can still vote in person if needed, and help will still be available on Monday and Election Day at the voter service locations, all of which can be found on your county's website.
You can also come here in person and vote in one of our voting booths if you would like. And if you need assistance voting, if you have a disability or if English isn't your first language, we can assist you.
Don't wait till the last minute. We want to make sure everybody's ballot's counted.
Celine Stevens, KGW News.
And before you head out to the usual ballot box you go to, double check the location. 6 libraries here in Multnomah County are closed, so there are temporary sites nearby where you can drop off those ballots. And if you are mailing your ballot, it must be postmarked on or before Election Day. We are learning more about the weekend car bombing of a fertility clinic in Southern California. The FBI has identified a suspect and a potential motive in the attack. NBC's Jay Gray has the latest.
Well, this is still an active investigation. The FBI says that things will be locked down here near the downtown area of Palm Springs for at least another day, maybe a day and a half as they continue to gather evidence here. But they say what they've accumulated so far makes them certain that this was, in fact, a terror attack. And they are saying that it was carried out by this man, 25-year-old Guy Bartkus. He's responsible, they say, for the car bomb attack at the Palm Springs Fertility Clinic. Investigators believe Bartkus died in what they describe as an intentional act of terror, pointing to writings, audio recordings, and social media posts outlining what they call anti-natalism views, a philosophy that argues having children is unethical because the unborn can't consent to a life that will include suffering.
Never known to believe anything like that before, no.
His father, in an interview with the NBC affiliate here in Palm Springs, saying that he was shocked to learn his son was a suspect, but that they had been estranged for more than a decade. As for the clinic and the staff there, obviously they won't be working out of this facility, but they say they won't let the attack stop them from serving families in this area, so they'll treat patients and be fully operational, they say, from a remote facility not that far away. That's the latest here in Palm Springs. I'm Jay Gray, NBC News.
Yesterday marks 45 years since Mount St. Helens' deadly eruption back in the 1980s. It led to the death of 57 people, making it the deadliest volcanic eruption in U.S. history. It also killed thousands of animals and destroyed the environment with the damage amounting to over $1 billion. Not many still remember the day and went up to the Science and Learning Center at Coldwater over the weekend.
I went to the window and looked out and I went, holy crap. Not exactly what I said, but big plume, 20,000 feet or so, and by then, I guess.
I actually lived in Longview when it erupted and got a lot of pictures over the trees of the big cloud, and so this is just kind of reminiscing for me.
Anna Coburn, lead park ranger at Mount St. Helens National Volcanic Monument, explains the impact of the volcanic's eruption beyond the destruction.
It shaped the way we think of disaster response around volcanoes and preparedness. It shaped the way we think of ecology and how fast things can come back.
And while Mount St. Helens is still active, Coburn says that people shouldn't be too alarmed, but still never forget its power. And over on KGW Plus, you can watch our Vault special, relive the lead up, eruption, and aftermath with rare KGW archive footage. You can find our free streaming app on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.